Hey, it's Brian Mudd, and this is my video cheat sheet for Friday, August 5th. Not Black Friday. It doesn't have to be. Look, the financial markets are in everyone's mind, and I'm the first person that had to be real with you and tell you that once we got past the debt debate, people are going to look at the economy, and the underlying information wasn't good. Here's the truth of the matter. The economic analysis that I've taken a look at, we have never been where we currently are and not been in a recession within 6 months. That's the get real moment. Maybe this becomes a first and we don't enter a recession. I want to hope with you that that's the case. In the event that it's not, though, here's what you need to know right off the bat. It is not 2008 all over again. In the fall of 2008, we had systemic economic failure. Our financial systems, our banks, were failing because they were overloaded with debt and nobody was going to lend money to each other to keep them floating. Ultimately, our financial system right now, the banking sector in particular, is completely stable and in a far better situation. So the first thing is, you got to take that off the table. It is not going to be fall of 2008 right now all over again. However, here's the get real moment for what's going on in Europe. You hear a lot about that, and I'm not going to bore you with some of the details right here in this video, but they are going through their own version of what we did in the fall of 2008. So they do have very real, very serious and immediate problems that they are dealing with. So we can't exactly count on the European economy to help drive growth right now. So what do we do? Here's the first thing. If you are close to retirement and you are counting on the principal you have invested in stocks in the near term for funding your retirement, I think you need to have that serious conversation with your investment advisor. That's the time at which you might need to get to the sidelines. Because here's the deal. There are great companies out there. And I have no problem buying into a bad and awful market or keeping your money there if you're in companies that are growing year over year, that have more cash than debt on their balance sheets. And that's huge. That means they aren't relying on anybody, the financial system at all, for future growth to fund their business. They are self-funded. That's very important right here. And they also pay a dividend that is far better than what you can get by just parking your money in treasuries or something. The Bank of Magellan in New York yesterday said so many people are trying to throw their money in the bank, they might actually have to charge people to hold on to their money. Don't do anything like that. That could be kind of silliness. But if you're going to be in stocks, you've got to be defensive, and you've got to be in those growing companies, more cash than debt, that have a nice yield. Anything else, you're susceptible, I think, to bigger risk. Is there any hope on the horizon? Yes, there is. Lost in everything yesterday, and understandably so, is that we actually hit near lows in the price of a barrel of oil for the year. See, as everything is selling off, and people want to get out, and the economy around the world looks weak, we've seen oil this week go from $97 a barrel. Right now, as I'm recording this, it's at $85 a barrel. That's huge. Part of the reason the economy dipped to the extent it did in the first half of this year is oil prices are rising quickly. That caused everything to cost more. Food and other commodities, things in everyday life. That meant that we had more or less money in our pockets by the time we just got done shopping at the grocery store. If we can get a sustained reversal on oil, and that means that when we go to the pump, maybe it's 50, 75 cents a gallon cheaper, that has a huge and immediate impact to all of us. It means that things will get cheaper in the grocery store. This can all be good news. So our one big hope on our economic horizon right now is the cost of energy coming down, and coming down somewhat dramatically. That can be a big help. So there's a lot going on right now. I don't think that you want to take emotional decisions into play here, but there is one thing that I always do believe in, and that is that you have to sleep at night. So talk to your financial advisor if you need to. Know that this is not the fall of 2008 all over again, but we do have very real problems we're dealing with. Be defensive if you stay in the stock market, and ultimately be in command of your own economic future. Pay down your own debt. Remember, this is what this whole economy's collapsed on. The less debt you have, the more power you have in your financial decisions. We'll see you next week.